Well, there was good reason we were down that way. The whole message is every time we tried to stop it, regroup, is we were getting outplayed. I'm not taking anything away. They outplayed us. So, we were trying to get ourselves back, in the mode that we play in that makes us play effectively and efficiently together. And it wasn't there, tonight. We kind of reached down at certain points and tried to go, but, even as we cut into it, we couldn't completely, overturn what we had already started. So, that was the frustration through the game.
You're a little afraid, having clinched without having to play the game, that they were going to come out and be a little flat?
Well, I think you look at it. The one thing we talked to our group about is in this league and any league, every game's an opportunity for something good to happen for you. In reverse, if you're not prepared, if you don't, do the things that make you successful, then obviously it could be, a not good situation for you. So, we went into it wanting to take the right approach and the right attitude and not look past what we had in front of us, because it's about building some momentum and fine-tuning what you do and what you're good at and what your identity is, because when you go into the playoffs, then the playoffs happen so fast. It can't be, we'll see what happens. It has to be, this is our best, this is what we do, and that's why we play, all the 50 games to get that experience.
And when you're trying to come back from 22 down, and never quite you came within 2, how important is it for the other team that you never got even in that?
Oh, I think it's big when you never, because when you get even, then it kind of, it like you said, it was 29-10, and we cut it and had a layup to tie it, and it didn't go down. So I think it's very important. It shifts the momentum. It changes it, because we came all the way back and there was a lot of time left to play. So I think that was a big part in the game. But again, the way that we started, and so we shuffled the deck a little bit. Started the second quarter, we were down 11-2, and we're calling more timeouts to start the second quarter. So, the entire first half, there were just a few pockets in there that we played to the identity that's made this group successful.
Coach, you spoke Monday on how the key to getting far in games and in the playoffs is big plays in defense. What was the difference tonight?
Our defense could not contain them. We couldn't come up with rebounds. I can't quote exact stats, but I don't remember the last time we've been out rebounded like that. So I think that's the big thing. That's your effort stat when you look at it, and we're a good rebounding team. We have good rebounders. And we couldn't get it done. We couldn't keep them out. They were more aggressive. They beat us to the ball. The first quarter, I think they shot 14 free throws, and maybe we shot 2. They're more aggressive. They're attacking. We're behind the plays. So, that's what happens. You give them credit. They shuffled their lineup a little bit and played some different guys, and they brought out great energy and got off to a good start, and they rode it. Then when it got close at the end, they kicked it back in again and finished the game.
Coach, what's the biggest lesson you can take from tonight's loss?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. We just talked to our team that, at this point in the season, you don't have weeks left. You have days. And if you're not ready on this day, then you're going to lose something. And it's getting to the point where, that finishes people's season. If you're not ready to play, you're not at your best when you come out there. You can't come out there and not be at your best. The accountability has to be high for all of us. I mean, and it has been. This has been a good group that way. They've been very resilient. Been a fun team to watch, and the way that we can play together, that's our identity. We have to play to that identity.
Disappointing night, but to bring the franchise to its first playoff mean for you?
Well, I think we'll be more excited about it in a couple of days, and I think if we look at it, we started the season and the goal was to win as many games as we could and keep getting better as the season goes on, and then hopefully at the end when we count them up, we're good enough to be one of the top 4 teams and be in the playoffs, and we're closing in on that. But I think if we get too excited about just being in the playoffs, we're selling ourselves short right now. We want to go into the playoffs. We want to have a chance to win in the playoffs. And so, we have to take things, step by step. We have to keep building. I thought Monday was a big step in that direction. Obviously today we didn't take that step in that direction. So, we've got to regroup. We've got a back-to-back on Friday on the road, come back, play Saturday. And, we've got to get back to that and play. If teams are going to beat us, we have to make them beat us at our best. And this team's been pretty good about that.
How does Clay Anthony change this team, make it different?
Well, I think it's different things on different nights because of his, his skill package and what he does. And, I think the experience is great for him because he's getting these extended minutes to, as he started out to play his way back and have a chance to play in all of these game situations because the games he's been in have all been different. Every game's been different. So, I think based on that, he is able to bring different things based on, kind of what the game is and what we need.
He'll be here the rest of the season?
I don't know that for sure. I don't know. I couldn't say that he would play every game with us. I think the plan would be that he will play with us, as we continue. I just don't know if it'll be every game.
Just how frustrating a night was it for the Masses? Picks up his 5th foul in the 3rd quarter, and then he goes back for 20 seconds.
I know. Well, we were in that situation, and honestly, it's as he has been kind of working his way back from an illness, and he's back. I think he's about back to full strength. We want to start building his minutes back up to where it is, and I'm sure it was frustrating for him tonight, but we'll part of the plan as we move into these next 2 games is making sure he gets some minutes to move forward there.
Frustrating for Jimmer. Got 2 quick fouls early on in the game. Never seemed to find his rhythm.
It didn't, and it was, it's one of those games that they're probably, when you play in a game like that, there's a lot of frustration, and it comes from different sources, and you have to work through it. But yeah, that was.
Has he gone to the line in the last 4 or 5?
He has not.
What?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously he's a great free throw shooter, and he was averaging about 5-6 free throws a game. Last 2 games he hasn't gotten there, and so it's kind of gone down a little bit. So, that's something we definitely have to, because that's a way you break the streak. If you're in a bad run, it's a good way to break it, to get to the free throw line, and he shoots it so well from there that we have I guess counted on those points, and breaking the rhythm of the other team by getting to the line. And our team's been shooting a lot of free throws, and this might be, I don't know, 14 might be our low for the season. It's right there if it's not. It's because we're averaging twice that many over the last 10 games. I think we're upwards 28, 29 free throw attempts a game. We shot 14, so that's a low number for us.
Were you getting the looks that you wanted out of your offensive sets late in the game? You guys have come back from that 22-point deficit, and then
I'm not sure that we did. It was, when you get in a game like that, the worst part about getting down early like that is it turns into a scramble. You get in a scramble, it keeps you from getting into a good rhythm and trying to do the things that you do. And, if you go away from what you do early in the game, then, you have to commit basically to doing it the whole game. So we tried to chip away and get to the point, then maybe if we had to scramble late, we could. And, we did a little bit, but it just wasn't enough.
So what do you have to do to get this team where you want it to be come postseason, now until the start?
Well, Monday we thought we were pretty close. So I'm sure, just based on one game today, what it is, I don't think it takes us that far away from where we think we're at. We just have to regroup, do what we do. This group has been very resilient about coming back and being ready to play. So hopefully we travel tomorrow and go to Delaware and then play Friday night. So hopefully we'll kind of regroup and come back and play to our identity a little bit more than what we did tonight.
they say defense travels. You have the playoffs looming. How would you evaluate the defensive performance late in the season, and is it where you want it to be?
Well, it has been. I think it's been pretty good. I don't know. I think, going into the week, we were maybe first or in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage, which is a pretty good stat for us to gauge. And we've been a tough team to get a lot of paint points on. that we usually protect the paint and do a pretty good job. But, we had some slippage in there tonight. We weren't nearly as sharp in areas that we need to be. So I think just kind of refocusing and getting back to it and getting us back in sync together, and then, hopefully we can ride that, get that going, and we'll ride it in the next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
You guys have 3 minutes or so? Just a couple questions. 1 second, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Ben Criddle, ESPN 960. I covered
Okay.
BYU sports.
Oh,
principally,
okay.
So I came out for the NIT
Oh, okay,
game.
I got you.
Unfortunately, I don't know. Did you follow the NIT at all?
I didn't, but
I know
I
you're-
watched a
I know you're
little
so
bit at the
busy.
end of the game last night.
Yeah, it was
I
unfortunate.
did.
It came down to the
I
last
saw
possession,
that.
which, I think all BYU fans are pretty happy about that. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Jimmer, his progression so far since
Mm-hmm.
you've gotten him under your wing and been mentoring him since he's got here. Like, what do you think about Jimmer, and how has he adapted to the D League and this transition that sometimes it's difficult to be bouncing around?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. I mean, obviously he has performed at a super high level, and the best thing about him is he can blend into so many different things, and that's probably based on his talent level, and 2, the experience level that he has. But we've had points of the season where we needed him to go get 25 or 30, and he could go do it. And now, we've got a lot of different guys, and we're doing a lot of different things, with lineups, and he can adapt to that too. So he's been very efficient